each other. And also, there is a form that's not being reported where men get abused in these heterosexual great relationships. And on top of that, the child abuse, are they really safer than us?
Yes, so I just want to say that it's very bizarre to only look at domestic violence as if that's the only kind of violence that matters. When you look at homicide rates, robbery rates, gang violence rates, mass shooting rates, murder rates, war crime rates, literally every fucking measurement of violence that you can think of besides just domestic violence, men are overwhelmingly the perpetrator for disproportionate amount of the violence. So to look at the one area out of like hundreds where women got the dub over men and then go, oh, well then women are just as well as men. It's idiotic. Also,
the beef, if you continue focusing in, you're going to find out that it's African American men that are responsible for a majority of the violence.
Is not likely to affect you because it's domestic, it's in the household. The violence that's likely to affect you is stuff like war and crime that is in public, that affects strangers. So when you're worried about who should run society, you're not talking about in the home anymore. So that's the kind of violence you should be worried about. But this is just an utterly bizarre thinking style to think that we're going to look at one area where women are more violent than men and ignore the thousands of areas that men are more violent than women and then say it's equal. This is fucking nonsense.
And before you go communist, that's the only reason why, Beef, I said most of us are not lesbians. Because that's not... Yes, I agree that statistically speaking, they have the most DV cases. Like, I'm not going to sit here and deny that. But that's not the majority of us. Like, if we actually look at all of the violence that's actually happening, it's not coming majority from lesbian couples. It's not. And this is not because I'm trying to bash men. I'm not doing that. Like, I actually like men, right? But why are we just being so disingenuous in
Vanessa,
conversation?
Vanessa, I actually used to believe what you're saying. Vanessa, what you're saying right now, Vanessa, is...
Honestly, we don't need your help as moderators.
Oh, my God. All right,
so Vanessa, what you're saying right now is exactly what I used to believe. But then, like, I started, like, looking at human beings, and I realized, no, women are just as violent as men are. The only reason why the tangible numbers for physical violence are higher than for us is because we're stronger. And then women also commit violence in subtle ways. And a lot of male violence is done on behalf of women. So a good chunk of violent cases are done because women need a conduit to actually commit the violence on, and they just hijack a dude to go do it. And then the other thing is that let's not even look at physical violence. When you look at other forms of violence that are more insidious, that are harder to report, women are venomous, they're poisonous. When a woman a woman can destroy you violently and not even touch you. All she has to do is open her mouth. When she opens her mouth, other people will touch you. The authorities will touch you. Fuck even physical, we're talking about fuck up your life. Like, fuck up your actual fucking life. So when it comes to that aggression, women just, and you see it in female conversations, and this is one of the reasons why good women don't speak up against bad women. Because when you see a group of ain't shit ass bitches, they're all being ain't shit. You have one girl speaking out, man, they tear her a new asshole. Get the fuck out of here talking about women ain't violent. The fuck out of here. They're fucking bullies. The reason why they don't do that, give a female brain man strength. Give a female brain man strength. You think we have violence today? Man, you think shit popping off today? Give a female brain man muscles. Talk about being violent.
That's tough. And my homie just messaged me because he is anonymous in the room and shit. I think he's still down there. He messaged me and said that another thing that you could add on is women actually hurting themselves. they're violent to themselves also is what he was saying. He basically saying that they need in suicide attempts. We just more successful at it, which kind of, adds on to what NPC was saying. Like, I think you might be on to something. I'm not going to agree with you, but you might be on to something.
Well, I mean, be honest, with shit like that, it's like, I think, a man want to do it, he going to do it. I think women, to attempt a suicide and lead in that shows they didn't really want to kill themselves. They just wanted attention. When we talk about the difference, though, between like women and men in violence, I think it's more so a vindictive thing. Like, I don't know about y'all, but coming up, right? Like, if you looked at like women, like when women fight, like if two men fight, like when I was in high school, they just, they scrap it up or whatever, keep it the fuck pushing. They may hold a grudge with each other down the line, but it is what it is. But women, they trying to cut a chick face. They want to leave her with some shit that's gonna last the rest of her life. Like, they want to make sure she ain't pretty no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, they get more vicious, bro.
So y'all think about the shit that we say. Think about how fighting used to be for men. Fighting used to be for men. All right, fuck the guns, fuck the knives. Let's scrap. Get a fair one. Nigga, if you lose, all right, you might get clowned, whatever, but there's an honor in losing. All right, pick up your hat, fight another day. All right, all right, you saw that love hook, all right, nigga got me, right? There's an honor, right? And I'm not saying that honor was always followed, but I'm saying that there was at least a social expectation. Niggas call other niggas bitches for not even wanting to fight. If you lose a fight, and you try to do something after and you lost, that's called being, why you doing that feminine shit? The shit, look, how niggas even commit violence today is called bitch shit. Think about how spiteful women are. Think about how spiteful they are. Men, I don't see men as spiteful. Imagine if a woman had a man's physical power, given how spiteful some of them are. Get the fuck. The reason why domestic violence is higher when it's two females is because women are emotionally erratic. How come when niggas go to jail, the main thing we say is that these niggas emotional? So how the fuck are we saying that women aren't violent when the most violent men in society act like women? And somebody else talk, man. People don't want to hear this shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you.
I think it might be because you're being biased.
I'm not being biased at all. I'm just telling you.
To say that you don't think men can be spiteful.
I didn't say that. Vanessa, I didn't say that.
I did a statement for the sake of an argument.
I did not say men cannot be spiteful. I said men. I've never seen a man be spiteful in a way. Actually, there's one dude I've seen, but
that's okay. But my point is, hold on. You literally cut me off on me. Okay.
Yeah, it's the second time you're doing this. You're cutting people off to like create arguments out of thin air.
I'm not creating an argument. I'm pointing out something that he said. That is, it doesn't even make sense. Being spiteful is not something that is gender-based. That's why these arguments are so ridiculous. Y'all are having gender wars for nothing.
It's not a gender war conversation, bud.
It definitely was turned into a gender war.
So,
It definitely was.
I feel like Vanessa, you have a little bit.
African countries that participate in your parents or grandparents of black people or other blacks for family purposes should be exempt from that. But if they were owning them for like breeding farms and other nefarious acts, they should pay. If other people that companies like say JP Morgan Chase, the Vanderbilts, and different family funds that have trillions of dollars on balance sheets, they should be fined too, right? City, they're a part of it. US Bank, they're a part of it. Facebook, if you have been a part of Meta, and Meta has been known for racial profiling and shit like that, and doing things racial, they should be fined too. This is how you fund it. Be careful. Don't worry about you being taxed. We clearly know you can't afford it. We know that.
Some of these groups that participated were inherited or either bought out by bigger companies.
Bigger companies too, yeah. So we would do a whole investigation of who to go after and target those people, right? Including those other countries. Because the government can do one thing. Yeah, and it's worthy of it, just like you did with the Holocaust. Just like you did with Pearl Harbor and those people that were in Korea and American concentration camps. Oh, you owe us that.
No, they don't do it for us.
I know, but here's what they don't understand. It's like if you have the opportunity to rid yourself of a crime that you did or did not commit, and you it's like a settlement. You can settle now or pay later. What comes later, you're going to have a reason to believe, right? And it doesn't have to be by pain and force. Black folks are not looking around because if that's the case, we did this shit fucking 100 years ago. But I would say to you this, for your children's sake. For your children's sake. They see this is the thing. But that's where I said that these people I question their humanity. Because when you think about these conversations and how they respond and their real thought process behind it, they're not human. They're subhuman. They're animals. They're creatures. The word white, the etymology of the word white, W-I-G-H-T, is a creature. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. People that think like that, everything that
You're using white supremacist talking points. You don't even see it. Just switch it up.
Yeah, I am.
No.
That's not at all.
I'm purposely saying that because for whom it applies to, it's appropriate. No, it's not reparation. It's not retribution. It should be. Retribution would look like something completely different. But the reason why I'm saying this, though, sir, so you understand to whom it applies, that's what I'm talking to. It does not apply to you.
No, you're right, Peter. You're right. You didn't either. Hey, Othello, just we short mods, just short little niggas. Don't make it worse for us, because I know you're a high level kid. We getting it back on track. Look, listen, all right. Can y'all bring my boy Cypher back down? All right. And then secondly, I would like to challenge on this. Okay, Cam, what are you so bothered by? Tell me.
Yeah, no, I brought him back up. Hands off. Hands off Cypher. He's the main protagonist here.
I'm just a supportive player. Yeah. And so you Cypher, damn,
Listen, I personally am pro reparations. I think they should be institutional reparations. Police circumstances, for sure. But what you propose, Cypher, what it basically sounds like is the instance that took 2 million years. And the outcomes of it are very unlikely to monolith. You say that all of those people are instantaneously going to invest the money, they're going to start new businesses. That's not very likely what's going to happen because we see what's happening with people it's not going to be unspent in the United States. People are just going to take off.
Circulate
somewhere.
Hold on. I like to respond to him as soon as
this is so crazy.
as soon as he responds. I want to.
Yeah, I'll go after you. Go ahead.
Go real quick. Yeah, real quick.
Somewhere, outside the United States. So I think reparations are important because they do need to allow people who are denied access to resources to have them access. But there needs to be some checks and balances in there to encourage responsibility for the money that they're going to receive. And how that looks, I'm yet to figure out.
Andre, I told you though, Andre, this is the part that's curious to me because I literally said.
I'm almost finished.
Go ahead.
What bothers me about your submission is the end part, is the nefarious threat of something bad would happen to you. I would not approach it from that think that way because you immediately get a negative reaction. Potentially be your allies in that endeavor and would support operations.
Jimmy got just thinking, relax. Now the world is going to change. You are losing the source. Now you are asking for another.
Peter, I got you.
But Andre, let me deal with Andre's points and be when he's complete.
I have one more sentence I'm going to say, if I may. Yeah, and then you guys can go. Reparations, I mean, there is no real way to repair the type of harm that's been done to people, physically, their lives lost, all that stuff. That is understandable. However, I do think in order for it to be practical, there needs to be an expiration date on those. And once that expiration date is done, I'm sure there's going to be people who are still going to be, thinking that they didn't get enough, want more, and all that stuff. But that also needs to be part of your proposal.
Yeah, okay. So I do have this actually written out since 2020, right? But literally written out. And I have a lot of support on this, right? So to your point, to your point, Peter, please let me get it out, bro. Let me get it out, Peter. Peter, you're not even a part of the conversation. You're not even.
You need to repay what you did to my country. You have to say you did to my country for reparations.
Got you. Your country paid $90 billion. No, $300 billion to 15 million Jews. You go after the Jews. You go after the Jews in America. Go ahead. Got you. So here's the thing, Andre. Here's the point that I'm going to make for you, right? I did say that it will be not limited to just money, right? And I did say that mental health, and so free healthcare would be in that. Mental health is a part of that. Education as well, Andre. And I said tax-free from age 0 to 33, and then from 66 till death. And I said too that there's 33 years of there's 33 years of taxation that you can even increase the tax on those people from working ages of 33 to 66. That's a good time to tax them, right? Because they made their nest eggs. I said over 10 to 20 years too. So that addresses your cutoff time. That addresses also the qualifications. It addresses everything outside of the monetary elements. And what we do with the money is our business. You didn't do that with any other people that you've given reparations to. You shouldn't do that with us. But what we would do in the first 5 years, 3 to 5 years, is niggas is going to do what niggas do best. We're going to stimulate the economy. We're going to buy up a lot of shit. You know what that does to the GDP? You know what it does to American ingenuity and overall trade and commerce? Even if we expand, because the majority of us don't have passports. The majority of Americans don't have passports, let alone the majority of Black Americans. So there are going to be some people that's going to get theirs and go to other countries. That's fine. That's cool. There are going to be some people that are going to get it and fuck it up. That's fine. That's cool. It goes back into the economy. So I don't think you really understand. But what I hear is the reluctancy to do this is a wired impression of what wealth looks like and or Dixie looking like. either financially or physically, right? So, but that fear, you didn't say that. No, I appreciate what you said, but then your kickback to it was where I'm addressing. That's the only thing. I appreciate you saying that you're for it. But here's the thing. But here's the thing, Andre. I didn't interrupt you. I just said, hey, let me go after you. It's all good. We're having a conversation. It's cool. So look. So I think you need to look at the benefits. And when I said, hey, if you don't do this, something bad's going to happen. I'm telling you a karmic rule, but I know to be true. If you do evil and you don't make it right, shit just actually fucking happens. I hope that people think.
Instead of divorcing all the white people in America that didn't have slaves, instead of taking their money, how about we just kill them all? How about we just kill them all and take all their money and all their land?
Well, you're afraid to even come to our neighborhood. So here's the point.
I live in New Orleans. What are you talking about?
Right. They fucked your mom. Got it. So here's
Is that the best you can do?
Yeah. So here's the thing, Andre.
You can do.
Yeah. Somebody.
Yeah.
So yes.
You hide your low IQ by trying to sound like
Right, boy. All right, boy.
That's the best you can do is go to racism. Listen, the best you can do is go to racism.
Wait till everybody.
Can we please let the cipher finish?
Yeah,
finish reparations. That is
30 seconds.
This is retarded, think boy, liberal nonsense y'all are spewing in here.
Well, I'm actually.
Y'all are all racist that believe in this shit, and y'all have no experience with actual real people in the real world. Yet you get on a stage to where you think you're something, you think you're important. I want you to see how low IQ you are. You're attacking me because of race. But you're
wait.
Hey, look, they left me off white, so you can suck my dick, Cypher. Racist?
T-Burns, can I ask you a question? What point are you addressing?
So, yeah, it's great. But here's the point, though. And I'll land it with this, Andre.
This guy, y'all
I've never, I'm 45 years on Earth.
taxing America.
Hey, white boy. Hey, you fucking nigga. I'm sorry you're fatherless. I didn't fuck him out.
My father was a great man. My father was a great man.
That's fine.
Successful trial.
Right. So, okay, thanks. 30 seconds, I'll be done. I've never seen in 45 years people do evil perpetually and actually they prosper long term. Even if they lived a long life, usually everything else, sometimes their children get fucked up. This is also biblical knowledge too. And it's also written, Genesis 15, 12 to 14, about what would happen to us when we come out with great possessions. But see, you don't understand, we're also inclusive people. We're generally generous people. Even the same people that oppressed us, we would even spend with them. We bank with them. We want to live next door to them. All that weird shit. I don't necessarily support that full-heartedly, but I believe that once you do prepare the people that were hurt by this, you not only alleviate yourself of the weight of being a racist and all this other shit, but you also clear the debt for your children to where even if they say all the nasty, foul shit that happened to them that some people in the stage parents probably did, they can say, we did pay them back. We made sure we made that right? There's a weight that comes off of that when you repair what you took or you make right what you did wrong, right? That's just a moral compass. Now, that's not for everybody because not everybody has the same morals. All I'm saying is that there's a moral duty to this too, outside of the financial benefit that you get by reinvesting into the people that built this country from the ground up, that won on your wars, that fought on your wars, that created a lot of innovation, and it protected you even from motherfuckers that wanted to kill somebody, right? So all I would say is that there's a moral duty here, and it would be for you to just look into it. Don't worry about what we do with the money. That's our business.
Okay, so that's Cadillac. That's fair. That's fair. I will accept the premise.
For money. Pay me the money, don't ask for a reason. You are still a slave.
And so Peter wants you to send it to Iran to help this Shiza Googler.
So one thing, if you open the door to a certain president side of the camp, you might want to consider dealing with that as well, because the slaves who came to the United States specifically, they didn't just appear magically overnight after they were stolen on African. So perhaps there's a portion of responsibility.
I said the African. I did say go after African nations that were
Okay, great. So do you address it? The second thing, I would like just to leave you with an open question, because one of my favorite thinkers, has a very bold observation. He says that no solution is totally positive or totally negative. All it does, it proposes some things that will be beneficial, but it also has constraints. So some of the negative effects of that solution. I would like you to play with your own solution, devil's advocate at some point, and come up with negative outcomes that might be present in that solution.
Well, I already have. I've thought about that. So I've written this out since, and I know the numbers too. It's $100 trillion over 10 to 20 years. But I've written this out, and the only thing that comes to mind is that we would have to kill some people that would want to take from us what we got back, right? So those people that would be upset with us get that money would have to know.
That's not what I'm talking about. So what I'm talking about is
That's the only negative outcome.
Legal precedent.
No, that would be legal. No. Legally, if you try to hurt me, I have the right to kill you. Say it again.
Let me just cipher an example. So just what I mentioned before, when you get with the lottery, right? You would think in theory that would be something that would immediately put them in the class of people who can create wealth, who can sustain wealth, who can create prosperity for the generations to come. What we see in practice is the opposite. Those people they will bankrupt.
I heard you say this earlier. You're repeating yourself at this point. No disrespect to you, but you're repeating yourself.
But let me just get it.
Financial literacy.
The reason why I bring this up again is because that is an example of something that you would think will create only positive outcomes and nothing negative. Yet when you look at the practical solution, you see constraints that you might not have considered. So while you gave me sort of the hand-wavy answer to other people, I'm talking about people who receive that one, who receive those resources. What's possible using human nature, right? And we always think it's just about how we just wired this way by evolution. What possibly can go wrong with those people? I mean, all the access, all the positive, availability to them, and not using it, but using it
Yeah, so here's the thing. This is what I said earlier. So I said education, free healthcare, which is included with mental health, right? And
I don't think you understand.
about it. No, you hear me, Andre, you really repeated yourself. I've heard this twice now.
Yeah, but you don't understand what I'm saying.
I'm not finished though either, because it's going to give me nuance to just heighten up what I'm saying to you to answer your question a little bit more quickly, right? So, one, it's not any of your business what you do with the money, but if, let's just say, suggest that these people go out and get that money and they buy a whole bunch of fucking cars and Bentleys and shit. And those same cars are in car lots in America. What do you think that does to the American economy?
Listen, I don't care what it does to American economy. I care what it does.
Just walk with me. Just walk with me.
So the people who spend all their money.
That's their. Listen. Andre, listen, and I'll get off. They're muting me. You know they don't like it. Right? So here's the thing. Andre. Literally, what we do with our money is our business. We'll start there. What would happen to those people that are irresponsible? There are resources available. And let's just say they go out and commit crimes. Now they forfeited their fucking money because they went to jail, right? Let's just say some of them went out and way they spent their money and bought houses and cars and shit, they stimulated the economy. Let's just say within that 3 to 5 years, the kick in of the education, mental health, actually does a positive thing. Now they become more fundamentally aware of mental health, their own capacity in terms of their relationship with money, and they start to reinvest into their communities. They create an economy inside of the economy that everybody else benefits from. So I think that there's only the upside. The downside is for those who suffer from what we call narcissism, but also what they call economic jealousy, right? Those people, there would be, I would definitely invest into a force, and enforcement, law enforcement. I have a name for it. I have a strategy for it. We would definitely track all white nationalists, and we'd have our own database. And if any one of them were to harm one of our loved ones, and in practice, I would do this myself to this day. I'd probably say, if somebody, God forbid, did something to my loved one, to my son or something, and it was like that type of shit, I would definitely kill every person in their family.
Stay less.
And, yeah, kill everybody, including the dog, including the dog and animals. Everybody would die until that person that did it got online and killed themselves.
Okay, so that's something
Yo, gotta watch Peter, man. Hold on, Andre. The guy that you're having the conversation now. What's going on, Peter? Why are you so jealous?
No, I did not do that. You can check the permissions.
But tell them, I mean, what he's saying is basically, race-based tyranny, authoritarian to the point with one fabulous restoration family.
But that's hold on.
That is a troll. That is to me.
You're trying to nitpick every little thing that this guy is. Hold on. Let's have a conversation.
But I'm explaining to you what you see.
You have to go on mute to have the conversation. Listen, you're trying to nitpick around.
It's not nitpicking.
Hold on.
It's picking.
How can you have a conversation so you were trying to talk?
Yeah, he's been talking. He's been talking over Cypher. Okay, and now he's talking over me. And if he's pushing your agenda, you still have to be unbiased.
I'm not pushing anybody's agenda.
Now listen.
I'm exploring.
Can we just have a conversation? Just go back and forth.
I am unbiased.
Andre, let's just let
My friend is.
Hold on.
She's on board. If I check in the air, I do.
Just wait for it. Okay, thank you, Peter. Othello, go ahead.
So Beaver is a youth that's pro and Cypher now.
Yeah.
And why?
Yeah, just for fun, bored.
Okay, this is a kangaroo court. Like, you can't even, I'm not even waste my time.
Oh, Beaver. Oh, man. Hey, that's
Okay, so what seems atrocious to me, like, if we are repairing the society, right, we want to have some sort of universality about it, where, skin color doesn't matter, we do corporations to repair the department of doctors, it's demographic, but our goal, I think, at least my goal, is to have a society that, quote-unquote, waste life, that people judge each other based on their opportunity that the other person offers them, reciprocity principle, where I help people decommission carbon. Yet he went into a place that sounds awfully odd, like something separationist, saying, our own economy, separation, we have two different races basically, at odds with each other, even proposing police force.
Yeah, sure. Why not? He's trolling. He's trolling. No, it's not trolling. Hold on, let's just entertain the idea. Hey, we're free thinkers, right? We're in a free thinking nation, alright? So have we not seen examples of certain communities that have their own police forces?
Yes, and I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. I don't think that should be allowed.
Why?
Because it's a country within the country. We either in the country, we have our own little enclaves of multiculturalism,
I got him. Hold on, let me just get in here because you've been cooking. Let me get in here right quick.
So if you know, like, depends on what type of goals you are proposing. If you want only prosperity and wealth for you, very selective. Okay, that's fine, but that's not the type of goal I would share. That's not the type of goal I would like.
Can you name the foundational allies of America for this institution? Real quick.
France.
There's 5.
Like the top of my head. Only France comes to mind. Russia. I think Russia participated.
Russia. You think Russia? You think that? Okay.
No. I'm not saying
No. I mean, if you think Russia,
they did it for their own interest, right? Blockaded British. I think that was the last guy. I mean,
before it was part of our country.
before what? Sure.
Just give me one.
I would say French, mostly, because they participated in the Revolutionary War. They spent a lot. What's so funny about that?
No, that's all good. What foreign country are you originally from?
I'm from Eastern Europe.
Which one? Kazakhstan.
What? It does not matter. I'm not.
It matters a whole bunch in this country.
Because
Contextually,
I'm not committed to those countries anymore, and I don't share their cultural identity.
you first or second generation. I want to know who I'm talking to.
Why does that matter?
Because it gives me an understanding of your framework to better communicate with you, right? And I'm not going to use it as a weapon against you.
Yeah, that should not be an issue. Let's talk about it.
Sure. It's just to actually formulate an idea or opinion what you have for America and the idea and where do you fit in categorically in the conversation at hand.
Okay.
So I want to remind you, America has a dark history. Hold on. America has a dark history. White movement. And we're seeing just as much as the fucking system that they implemented helped them is harming the ass now. And everything that was built during that time is coming back to roost right in front of people's faces. Now, I'll ask you something, because I already asked you about the foundational countries that actually helped us found this nation. Kind of failed that. So just let me know, what kind of generation you're in, right? And I'm just presuppose that you're, either you're first generation or you just, kind of came here, bro. So when we having these old conversations, hold on, that's rooted in American roots and stuff like that, and you're not from an allied nation that participated in the upbringing of our country and stuff like that. I just ask y'all respectfully to just stay back because
That's abuse.
no. That's you know what I'm saying? Look, because this is a foundational white and black American problem. There are foundational whites and there are foundational blacks. I think we should move the other whites and the other blacks out the fucking way when we're talking about politics that existed before they were allowed in the country. Respectfully, bro. That's just the only fucking way to go about this. Otherwise, we're just gonna have a clusterfuck of opinionated people.
That's a stratificated.
No.
The ethnic or historical, ethnic historical reference to classes to its core.
Which is how America was built. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Remember that these were aristocrats.
If that is your ultimate goal, then we have to find it.
Sure. then get the fuck out the way. Let me go my pathway.
I'm a citizen. You
know what I'm saying? Like, this is an old problem older than you.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're the same age, or roughly the same age as me. And so
Nah, probably.
Based,
But that's cute.
based
Go ahead.
on our experiences are relative to each other. So you have no weight just because of your ancestry, unless you want to have some sort of aristocratic stratosphere that allows you to speak.
There is already an aristocratic stratosphere. You're just not aware of it in America, you dumbass. And so there's certain foundational communities. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is how we fight America. Oh, you're not ready for freedom of speech?
No.
All right, Stalin. Anyway, bro, look.
Absolutely no voice.
Bro, no. I do have a point. You got offended by a cuss word.
Thank you for your
Look at you. Yeah. You can't shut me down. I'm still finna go. So, there are certain aspects. Yeah, I'm still finna go. You thought you could. You ain't do shit, little boy. That shit was quick as hell.
Into the void.
You gotta do better than that.
I don't think any of your points are valid.
Yeah, sure. But you don't understand the history and context of America. And so this is only you actually appreciating certain bits and parts of America without us accepting that there's existing like history foundational communities that actually participated in you even being. Because there was a point where America was finna go fully unconscious. Just it.
I have a question for Steinford. So obviously these democratic socialists of America is scared shit out they're rising. How do you guys feel about them? And they in their core sentiments, they support reparations for slavery and Jim Crow. They view restitution as a systematic requirement, which are centuries of racial and economic oppression. Now, Steinford, in the past, I've heard you espouse, I guess, more conservative ideas. I don't know what your political views are. With the rise of the DSA, it seems like the sky's the limit. Do you think that they are good faith actors when it comes to reparations and just the plight of the African American? Do you think they want to set us right? Do you think it's something that the African Americans should get behind?
I don't trust Europeans as much as those that said they're so what they say and what they do are two different things, but they line up. I'll look at that, but even then I would approach it with caution. They could be as jangled as flash as well. That's my point. I'm in Brooklyn as a black American.
Like he,
Yeah, it's so politically risky, especially if it doesn't work. These little spring up movements and stuff like that. Sometimes you gotta kind of, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that they don't work. I'm just saying, like, just like COVID, you ain't finna take that shot. You know what I'm saying? The first time around, unless you've been really indoctrinated. It's enforced out, I'm not gonna let the university say no.
I also want to let all foundational black Americans know that Beaver is on. These are directly doing business with them.
Well, tell them why is Beaver the enemy?
Look at him. Look how he's trolling. Look how he's trolling Cypher down after he makes, what I think are world-class plays. Cypher never, well, from what I heard, he doesn't want to separate totally. He just says we need our own police force, just like Jewish people want their own task force to protect, control their neighborhoods.
And in fact, they've done.
Yeah, he's pushing for self-sufficiency and that,
go to the African American Museum in Washington, D.C., they have a money counter of all the countries that participated and how much they made. And I think it was like Netherlands 200 million, the British 500 million, which translates to billions at that time, right? So if you go to the African American Museum in Washington, D.C., they start with that money counter per European nation and how much they made with the slave ships and how the money built up their infrastructure in these countries, the railroads, the banking systems, all from the transatlantic slave trade.
Yeah, but you're never going to get it. So, like, why do you keep this straight up? You're just setting yourself up for this.
Because we're talking about reparations.
Well, I have a question. I'm sorry, though. When you're done.
Okay, DC got a double word. Also, too, it's funny. When you start at the African American Museum, which we can all go tomorrow if you want, it starts with 3 doors. When you go there, there's literally a picture of 3 doors. And then it goes into the money counter for the European nations. So, African Americans, we have to look to the U.S., we have to look to the European nations and Africa in regards to making this reparation. It's not just the U.S., it's not just Africa. We literally built the foundations and the infrastructure for the European nations to have everything that they got.
That's a lie.
It's not a lot, baby. Go to the museum.
Nah, he just doesn't understand history, that foundation. Even in American nations, that colored people helped jumpstart and revolutionize every single fucking one of these Western Hemisphere nations. Suck dick, look it up. Look it up. This how I get down to business. You get what I'm saying? I ain't wasting no time. Be patrolling and shit. Be on that shit. Nah, get the fuck out of here, Beaver. You've been on here long enough with me, Marshall, and all of us from the old rules. Here's some of this shit. You're doing a thing right now. I'm passing judgment on you.
Hey, something I want to ask you.
Is that sword?
Yeah, sword. Yeah.
What's
I want to ask are y'all willing to accept reparations at the expense of forced conversion to Islam?
You know what? Nope. Here's why. Why would a foreign practice that has roots in a foreign land help me in my situation right now? And that's just me speaking as a foundation, being me Christian. Okay. Now let's just deal with the nigga shit. Because the Arab-Saharan slave trade has been one of the most unspoken and egregious things to our community. I don't know why any nigga on this side of the West or East Mississippi or Euphrates, shut up, Peter, whatever, sign up for this when it's been proven to have cultural disadvantages and erasure. I got you. I told you I'll hold you down.
The way I see it, DSA, they say like we apply those because we all learn from the house. Without somebody tell you what you got these words right now. It's that to wives and daughters. They gonna give us reparations at what cost.
Here's what I would rather us do as a collective people, because I'm tired of playing with it and shit. Let's take this shit global, go directly to the UN. It's like American people. Let's just it over with. Everybody come forward. Y'all have something to do with this shit. Let's just get this shit over right now. There's still land disputes, claims, issues, items, auctions, black markets that we got to deal with and shit like that. But
I think you missed your window. After George Floyd, that bullshit window was
it's still open, bro. It's still open. It's actually open and wide. You just don't see it because you're an isolated American.
Good morning, night. Good morning, Odell.
How you doing? Oh, my favorite rapper, Bullock. Hey, what's going on, man?
It's the best day of my life, brother. Thank you very much.
Every day.
Yeah, got it. So my question is, are you saying that all countries that were involved should get a participation trophy, that we should pay them something, or they should pay us something? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, they should pay us something. They should just, the ones who are about their humanitarian efforts, goodwills.
So what are we going to do with the African kings and queens that also participated? Are they going to get a participation trophy too?
No, they got to kick in. They got to put into this is their chance to come forward. Hey, come clean, niggas, bitches, anybody that was part of this shit.
Which they already started apologizing.
Yeah, they started apologizing. They telling on themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a lot of them that's been telling on themselves, Mr. Ed. Mr. Ed, I
don't disagree with you. Thank you. But at the same time, human behavior, and correct me if I'm wrong, should we penalize other generations for their behavior when we don't penalize our generation for our behavior?
We put the cart before the horse.
Oh yeah, we are.
And I think
We're trying to play.
no. I think environment, because we all know what healthy environments do when it comes to body and mind. You know, I'm from that body and soul era, so I'm the old school dealing with you, Mr. A. You ain't got me fooled. Because I can turn off the rap and listen to jazz anytime. You're a jazz kind of guy. I fuck with you. Here's the thing. I understand that there are certain pending immediate situations that as a black person, we need to get out of before we can think about the next obstacles. You know what I'm saying? And that's just in a more healthy and alert state. We can think better.
And if I let me try to go down the rap line with you. I am going to request reparations from a group of people that directly did not affect slavery. I got to go all the way back to the transatlantic slave trade we talked about. It did not start on American soil, correct? There were 4 nations that actually started the transatlantic slave trade.
Yes.
Are we right now? Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know any group right now in the United States, any Black Americans that deal with the 4 countries that started the Atlantic.
I mentioned this earlier.
Okay, go ahead. Say. Yes,
For that. Yeah, so $100 trillion is my thing. And it would be bifurcated between institutions, organizations, and countries that partook in this shit. That would include African nations, American nations, right? It would also include institutions, as those that ensure that in finance, right, supported in any way, shape, or form, and it's not limited to slavery. We'll go so far as to investigate corporations that have invested into unfair housing and equal rights, all that shit. They will all get sued and have to pay that tag. Now, because the average white American can't afford this, that's why we go after those corporations, institutions, and countries, including African countries. They don't have the money, they have land or resources. And it would not be limited to just a monetary handout or payback. It would be also education, mental health included. It would include tax-free to 0 to 33, and then tax-free again 66 to debt. And what you do is you free up the economy, and then over 3 to 5 years, the first 3 to 5 years, we know that a lot of us will go out and stimulate the economy, which is a good thing for everybody else. But you start adding education, financial literacy, mental health, and all of these other things, crime goes down, property values go up, right? And everybody benefits from this.
No, Cypher, you bring very good points. You know, like
Andre. No, you ahead, Andre. Go ahead.
no, I think you bring very good points. I would commonly suggest to curb your bloodthirst, keep your position, but at the same time, you know, keep
What do you mean
exploring.
bloodthirst? Like if somebody tries to hurt me or try to kill us like Wall Street, sir, I'm different from my ancestors. I would murder every with no. Listen. If somebody tried to do what they did to Black Wall Street, and you don't think for one moment that we're gonna let that shit slide? Keep in mind. Here's one last thing. Keep in mind. Hear this out. Keep in mind, this country was founded over 2 cents tax on a beverage. Motherfuckers went to war behind that. You mean to tell me, if you know anything about Black Wall Street, what happened to all the lynchings and hangings and shit, you think that our generation of resources would allow that to happen again? That would be irresponsible.
I would say it's morally inadmissible to say that you're gonna, carve out your family so people have no direct relationship, whatever crime.
They did worse.
I don't care what other people did. I don't do that. So
okay, and I don't care what you're saying about that. Everything else, I'm in agreement with you. What I do with my life is my problem, my business. I guarantee you it wouldn't happen again.
No, I guarantee you will find no support.
It doesn't have to. I don't have to have support. It would just be me doing it, though, right?
Because in order to get those ideas,
when you think about all that's happened, hold on, Andre. When you think about all that's happened to us to even get reparations, what kind of people would do some shit like that?
Horrible people. But I would say,
okay, so do they deserve to live?
If you want reparation, that's one thing. If you want retribution, I think you will not find it.
I think that you're conflating the two, right? Reparations is a separate conversation. But you are, let me show you how you are. Let me show you how you are, though. Because I'm not saying, oh, we're going to get this money, go out and kill right? No. I'm saying we're going to go out and do this. No, sir, you should listen. This is why you're conflating. Literally, I said, yeah, it is your problem because you're not listening to anything that I'm saying. That's why you keep repeating yourself. The same thing that's off base of what I'm talking about. Our right to self-defense is the same right that you had. I just happen to go a step fucking further to guarantee it won't happen again from the same source. But here's the thing: but you're not in control. You don't have the power or authority or control over how I respond to another motherfucker fucking with my loved one. I have one child. So if that happened, then the courses of action that I would take is warranted by me, and that's between me and God.
It's society.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're not here to lecture me. Go on with your conversation.
Yeah, but you do seem bloodthirsty, like you're itching for murder, death.
If you're going one step further, that is one step further, meaning you're gonna excite people to do the same thing like yours.
That's what y'all afraid of. Then don't fuck with us. If you don't fuck with us, we don't fuck with you. That's all I'm saying. That's the way. That's the way. Listen, that's the only thing you have to worry about. If you don't do shit to us, we won't step on you. That's all I'm saying.
What I'm telling you,
you're not telling me anything. You can talk to somebody else that's listening, but I'm going to go back on mute.
as a friendly advice,
You're not.
No, you will listen to him.
No, you can eat my dick.
If you want to realize those policies, you need allies. You cannot do it by yourself. You cannot do it yourself. And if you're not willing to hurt your one person, it's only going to be in theory. It's going to stay on a piece of paper that you hold. I mean, and that's one thing.
I don't think you know who you're talking to, and I don't think you know how far along in this process I actually am. But I tell you this, I'm a fair person, and you have nothing to worry about. If you mind your business, I'll mind mine.
Andre. What's happening? What's happening now, guys? All right, so Andre, let me just jump in here real quick. You know, as a proud American, I gotta open up my company. You know, I gotta work. I know it's a four-letter word, but it's one thing I have to do as an American. So I just gotta make sure I'm that's what it is. So Cypher, I appreciate it, but my original question goes back to, could you tell me this right now in the United States or any other country that are presenting any proposal to the four countries that actually started the transatlantic slave trade and asking them for reparations? Do you know any group that's doing that right now?
No clue. No, I do not know.
It's supposed to go that we have these conversations as if though we all personally believe that some nations, including the United States, has 13 colonies. And the last I checked, Brittany got the slave trade was a individual endeavor. Those who own plantations purchased slaves on their own. And this was not at the beginning a government sanctioned entity, you know, business-wise. People bought and sold slaves in the ships came in. I'm from Massachusetts. I got to see that. So I'm just curious on where we are in reference to individual behavior. Again, I'm just going to keep going on individual behavior. If I purchase something, then I'm responsible for what I purchase. Now, we don't all have to agree. I just read it different than those people. Because you know why? I personally believe the behavior of another human being is not my responsibility to make sure that another human being is being repaired over something that another human being did. That's all I'm looking at. So, again, let's look at the four nations that actually started you're right, I'm not you. I'm Edward. Edward by himself came out of Muslim by myself all day, every day. I'm the 15 to 17 children of February 58 years. I'm an individual. Thank God I get to be an individual in America. You know why? I don't have to be those things. I can be individual thing and be okay. But I can support some groups. I don't have to support them all. So Cypher, Knight, Stella, Beaver, Wallace, Sword, all of you beautiful people. Holly, I like it that you put in here in the chat. Just remember, guys, we all are responsible for our own behavior, and I can't take the behavior of someone else. So I'm gonna lay it here, guys, that I do gotta get it moving. But I just want everybody to realize that for me to blame someone else's behavior in 2026 and think that I'm old something, it's just kind of hard for me to swallow. But I get it. Like I said, if you want to fight for it, fight for it. I'm gonna just take advantage of what I got today. And what I got today is the free enterprise market. I'm gonna participate in that.
Just make sure you put your money in a black bank.
Yeah, and the thing is, here we are again, you know, and I do appreciate hearing individuals speak to let me know who to avoid when it comes to politics that affect groups. These are these are legislative issues. Oh, yeah, you gonna do this to me? No, I'll let you go. Go ahead.
No, I'm just joking, man. You knew I was going to come on, Dyke, you're the man of good conversation. No. You know what, I know where you are. No, but listen, I was born in 63, guys. You know what happened in 63?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what happened in 63, guys? We lost the right. Hey, I'm part of it, but we lost the right as a group of people of ownership. My dad taught me something when I was 9 in '63. We decided as a group of people that we want to have the right to ride the bus, the right to eat the hotel, and the right to do all these things. But you know what we never did? We decided not to own any of it. Ownership is what makes people move forward. And until we get to ownership, we're going to keep talking as though that right now in the United States we have the largest group of black elected officials, and we actually believe that we are behind the scenes, which is kind of crazy to me. Why do we have more black elected officials than any time in human history, American history, and yet we have the most difficult time of getting blacks to understand that ownership is important? And but we want grievances. We want people to tell us that the nuclear family is not important, that they're not being involved in raising their children, that we should not be marrying our women, we should not be raising our children. When do we think that the nuclear family is not the most important part of any society? So I got it 1,000%. I'll just read from the parents and grandparents I had, so that I, Edward, will lead more with my responsibility and my duty versus me leading with the fact that a group of people that I never met was injured somehow. So I got to get you to move forward, and I would like for us, and I'm talking about everybody, all Americans, to focus more on the nuclear family than all the other freaks think that none of us think do. I'm sorry, Nate. That's bootlegging.
No, and it's a true opinion, but I think when we talk, and I think a lot of people perceive this as like welfare, because they understand the benefits of finances. When I ask for us to be equal, I expect that, and not to be looked at as 2/3, as it seems like propaganda is pushing us that way. It's a shame to think that people wouldn't believe in the honest actors, or even the community that has, even if you was to go back to the Great Depression, lift America out of one of the deepest, darkest holes it's ever seen, with no answers. Community that innovatively figured out how, a community that still believed in the American idea, just separatists in the community did make that now we starting to look at and say, hey, should this happen in the choice? Me, I affirm myself on the current American beliefs that we can do better. Righting our wrongs and showing that America is truly an equal place. Now, there's no people and communities that I do feel for that have received reparations. Again, my community, we still got work to do. I think we should receive it in a different form. I think we should have bias units and all that kind of stuff when it comes to accessing loans. We should have more opportunities to move to and actually buy communities that's been in this downward spiral to actually bring the market back, the housing market stable, to where America can be livable again. I think we should get corrected on our agricultural fraud schemes and stuff like that. There's a lot that we could fix that doesn't have to be just a dollar sign. That's what I'm saying. There are things we can do right now that can fix this fucking system. And we can just move the fuck on and see what else is next. It's still blood on the ground. And it's continuing to be blood on the ground. Because guess what? New issues arise. just adjacent to the home. That's why I say I can listen to somebody like Andre and hear him as a spectator. Because I know for a fuck that you don't know the history and the foundation of these problems, or care if they're correct. You benefit on the current system. That system needs to be and be corrected.
What's the requirement for someone like no that's like anybody that's like mixed, or like is there a percentage of black they have to have, or is it more so about the lineage of the slave trade?
We can get into more lineal claims. I like to keep it legislative, as you know, my shit goes beyond the transatlantic slave trade. I wish we stopped using that as the main talking point, because we have other claims such as implemented intentional government sabotage and attack on its own citizens that's actually recorded, right? And the theft of black intellectual property that actually was used to steamroll the country ahead. We don't even need to fucking talk about slavery no fucking more. I'm tired of hearing this slave shit like that's all niggas' experience it was. There was a time and period after that, which gave America its fucking mark on the world.
Okay, I got it. So you're saying your preference on the requirements of getting reparations should not be related to chattel slavery. It should be another requirement that doesn't relate to that, correct?
It's legislative, so again, whatever's on paper.
Okay, I got you. That was a different, that was the first time I heard somebody say something different. Normally they say chattel slavery, so that's different.
Because people are fucking stupid and they don't realize there was a clause after the Civil War that Abraham Lincoln office signed off on that actually gave the Freedmen Bank a kickback on it. It was sort of like a reparation and shit like that.
Yeah, the Freedmen's Bank.
And allowed them to do it. Yeah. That was what it was supposed to be, that, and the bank was supposed to give out the land. Unfortunately, a lot of other shit happened. But there's a whole bunch more that we could go for and use as claims other than this fucking chattel slavery shit. Because to be honest, the chattel slavery shit actually harm us, because then we give other people opportunities to talk for us, i.e. the Caribbean community, St. Thomas, you know, all these other people who have since identified with their own nation and their own claims, and some of them have gotten a response.
I have a question for you. Sure. Would there be a sliding scale, like a formula for people that are mixed? Do you have like a...
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I think mathematically, I think it should go just because they, hey, look, we didn't create this blood quantum scale shit. We already know it, and it already exists, Beaver. Guess what? it already exists. And y'all create one drug. So it's gonna go. Yeah.
The one drug rule was still apply. I got it. You can be like 25%.
Yeah, gonna go exactly like that. And even some of these white motherfuckers need to get it on their Yup. Because guess what? That's how fucked it is. That's how fucked y'all made it. And that's how we need to unfuck it.
Man, I hate that one drop rule. I hear you. I just hate it.
Yeah, of course. Look, and then let's not get dignity laws and shit like that, where brown can only marry brown, black can only marry black, and white can only marry white. Look, y'all gotta make shit like that right. Let's do this shit legislatively. We don't even gotta fucking get a payout. Let's just go through the motherfucking books and see where the system actually Let's go to every fucking district and just flip that shit. And y'all, guess what? Y'all won't do that. Y'all actually will rather pay money. You want to know why? Because it's all over. Y'all see what we doing from the block bottom? Man, oh shit.
Yeah, we bypassing all the nitpicking and petty arguments that might go straight to the heart.
Going straight to the heart. We're passing all the X arguments, the Twitter argument, the typical, oh, we're talking about slavery, you guys just want to go and eat dogs and cigarettes. Ain't y'all tired of that shit? Wasn't that season 2 or what?
Wait, what about this one? You're going to use it for nefarious purposes.
Yeah, you're going to go buy drugs and start a criminal empire. Yeah, and live like the movies we make and see the consequences in? Are y'all fucking dumb?
Hey, probably my
Yo.
they would like
But what about your...
Hey, Beaver, for my version of it, yes, the fuck I would. I'm willing to stand on the front lines because you want to know what? What I'm talking about doesn't cost $1. It has something to do with land distribution, which we have a lot of different barren lands, not only in the mountainous ridges. Man, we can work it out. No problem.
I wouldn't fight for that.
That's what I'm saying. Nothing.
Timber is
nothing at. Y'all don't even want us to have the nothing where the nothing is at.
Beaver is not a lot of you. Most of you guys are white.
No, there is a lot of us.
50% of all trans are white.
No, we were
like.
Yeah, but no. Othello, he's claiming the Medhead County was for the people who are, the zombies and all of that shit. The hills have eyes, y'all gotta own them motherfuckers. Yep.
Yeah, I can easily think like those guys.
Drop. Them guys will eat you alive. Think what I said. Bro, you ain't strong. They'll listen to that. Not you.
I like for Beaver to name a war that white Americans fought without black Americans in actual war. Without black Americans.
Nope.
Without black Americans.
There was a lot of black Americans in the Cold
Here during the Cold War.
Yeah. Even more than World War II.
Name a war. My father was at Bay of Pigs, Vietnam. My grandfather, World War II. His father.
I'm from a military family.
And his father's father was a Buffalo soldier. Right? It would have went with me, but I had black feet, so I couldn't go. But my son's going to the Air Force. My nephew's at the NSA. My other, not nephew, but cousin is a high-ranking person in the NSA. And he does some amazing shit. We would have so much intelligence on all of you. Like, we would know before you think it. I have a database myself, a personal collection of data on people shit like this online. I literally do have resources to reach. So that's why I would do what I would do. You wouldn't even know it's me. You wouldn't even know it's me. If you drink the water and you die, there's that. If you get a sneeze and a cough in a park and you die, you wouldn't know. If you what's up, bro? What the hell? You know what I'm saying? If a drone just happened to drop some C4, you're a psychopath. Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, C4, like all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? Absolutely. But here's the thing, like my whole point of it is that there's a law that helps protect this stuff. Look at March 27, 2019. It designates white nationalist groups as domestic terrorists. If you killed a terrorist in America, would you go to jail? No. If you detain one, would you go to jail? No. But before I outed that person, I have a whole database of who they are. I can show you their social media. I can show you their IP addresses. I can even show you their VPNs. I can even show you the Texas and every phone, I can sit in your back here and grab your phone. You never know. You know, my nephew told me how to do that. Right? Network system developers. All right, we can look at all the texts you sent, so that when we do go to court and explain this, and if we even have to, we would just show the court like, hey, we didn't delete a fucking citizen, we deleted a creature. We did America a favor by eradicating white nationalists.
My daddy's the judge, so he would rule in my favor.
Your dad would go too. He'd be the first one to go. They're inside of the judicial systems. No, seriously, like they're inside of the judicial systems. EMS, the police. Some of y'all I know, like Manville and them are EMS operators. They hold white nationalists, threats and stuff like that. But I like Manville. He's pretty cool. He's an EMS guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some motherfuckers that's on this app that's living in Connecticut and shit. Like, we already kind of know some of you guys really are. Like, real, like, I don't think you guys are doing much, right? I need to take your audio and use AI on it, and then find it anywhere on the internet, because it acts as an actual fucking fingerprint. And find out if you are back engineering pictures, all kinds of crazy shit, you know? But here's the thing. Before I get out of all that, because there's way more tools that I have to use for that. I'm just saying that if you leave us the fuck alone, we would have nothing to worry about. Your children won't turn into Metcalf.
I'm sorry, like that was messed up. Like that was messed up that you said that about Austin Metcalf. And Tina deserved to die for that. I'm sorry.
He told me he's gonna Metcalf me.
That's messed up.
Well, if we go to war,
guys, let's get on.
I think this is the response. There will be a war if we ever got reparations.
Don't think, yeah.
I mean, I don't want there to be war.
Listen, then stop
Wait,
talking about
Beaver, can you walk me down, like, the path of, like, war, why reparations will cause war?
If some, like, libtard became president, like AOC becomes president, whatever, nightmare scenario, and then they somehow enable reparations, cash payment, the rednecks in the South would fucking rise up. They would get their AKs, their pistols, their secret grenades, or all that shit, and they would go.
First of all, no. The rednecks in the South are with us right now. They don't give a fuck. Yeah, the rednecks in the South, yes, they are. It's the hillbillies that's like, no, this is our heritage. This is our property. No, hell no. Rednecks are the badass Stone Cold Steve Austin beer crushing.
They would fight alongside us.
They fight alongside us. Yeah, like the rednecks.
Listen.
Yeah, they with us and shit like that. They the ones who they mama cook like our grandmama like that. That's how you tell the difference.
Night King, just tell it as, listen, they are going to relocate us all to the middle of the country. And I'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
I told you could be a part of my
Slum News Day again. Y'all talking about reparations. Fucking look.
No, look, man.
Fucking look.
Well, we talking about the worst.
I don't care. It's the room title. And I'm gonna start fucking losing.
Hold on, brother. Before you come in talking about some crazy shit, that's what your people gonna talk about, man.
No, unfortunately, y'all allowed it to come in space. Y'all want that to come in space. That's what's crazy. Y'all want that. This happens like every day. Y'all know ain't no fucking reparations happens. Y'all know ain't nobody get reparations. This is what I be saying. That's why I don't really like associating with white folks. Because they ain't fucking dumb. They know ain't nobody getting no fucking reparations.
But how you gonna blame the white folks?
Because this is their space. This is their space.
Blame the white folks for that.
This is their space.
That's my space too.
Yeah, this is our space,
Yeah,
nigga.
this is Timothy's
My
fault.
space.
Nigga, it's not Black Planet.
That's not your space though. You be modded in here.
No, the black people co-opted this space. It's theirs now.
But this is stupid. Like, and I'ma say that to niggas too.
Well, then like, stop talking about reparations.
So because I'm not white.
Stop talking about reparations, fucking white people. They just sitting there laughing at niggas and gas.
I saw Boom, Charleston White. Hey, look,
shut your bitch ass up, nigga. I spit in your motherfucking face. So bitch ass.
So because I'm not white, it's not my space.
You know what I'm saying is a reparations conversation with these kind of white folks is going nowhere. I guarantee you that.
It's just Bieber. Let's push it back.
Bieber's
I guarantee you
white
that.
folk on stage, bro. Everybody
room of Jim. I've been in conversations in the community with that cool.
Bieber was the first motherfucker coming in out of his goddamn pocket because he don't want to get punched in the face.
Just expressing himself.
What you said?
I mean, I'm just trying to understand.
Bieber be the first motherfucker coming out of his pockets because he'll be scared to get punched in the face. Here, guys. Here goes. I only got $5.
What is the obsession with the reparations conversation?
You gotta ask the Rob to say for you, though, bro. To say your conversation. Say what you want to think.
Sit at a table in our chat and be like, hey, let's talk about reparations today. Like, that's not really how it works, man. We just casually have a conversation on stage, and either a brother or a sister will bring up reparations. That's exactly how it happens.
And whether you agree with it or not, whether you agree with it or not, it's looking like the realest path towards the realest path towards reparations are happening with the rise of the DSA. Now, I'm not talking about us in here because we have eyes that see, you know what I'm saying? But it seems like the DSA is really garnering that black woman vote. You got James Tallarico walking through Austin with Obama. You got Saeed, and if you look behind, every time he gives a speech, it's black women behind him. Mamdani. If you look at what they believe in reparations for Jim Crow slavery era. Now the DSA is rising with the extremism that you see in Iran and Gaza. People don't want to vote for AIPAC money. Seeing it just did a report where Americans as a whole are trusting AIPAC.
The situation is different between those places.
You can talk after.
Thousands of kilometers distance.
I'm almost done. So, also 49% of all Americans want that Yahoo arrested. That's the new stat as well, on thehill.com. So this rise of the DSA is a direct response, American response to the extremism that we're seeing overseas. And they're going to win more elections. We're just
It's
waiting.
actually a direct response to the MAGA thing. Like this is literally the same type of thing that the Tea Party ushered in 2013, which was kind of an extreme right-wing movement that led to MAGA's development. It's the same type of situation, man.
Right.
It's just the extreme left version of it. And y'all just gonna fucking deal with it just like we didn't have to deal with it. It is what it fucking is. But the reality is, communism is not coming into America. Like this is propaganda speech. This is motherfuckers scared because they know they about to lose the midterms because they have not done a good job. It's really that simple.
Right.
Otherwise, that guy, Ken Paxton wouldn't have an opportunity to lose if he wasn't such a piss poor like person. It's that simple.
Right.
Tallarico is coming in with some reasonable conversation with people, and to say that he's only getting black people shows that y'all don't know shit about my state. He's actually like been hitting the rural town. He came to Houston. He was out here yesterday. He's gonna be out here a little more moving forward because it does matter to get these big cities. But the reason why Tallarico beat Crockett is because Tallarico understood that Texas is full of small towns. Right? And you got to go to these small towns and let these rural folks know, hey, these big city motherfuckers, man, these MAGA people, they don't give two shits about you. School voucher program is gonna hurt you too. Like you're a rural town. So it's like when it comes down to it, that's how Tallarico is winning. It's actually black folks are giving him the most difficult time.
Well, if you look at his movement, walking on the Riddle Bob, like all of this, walking across the Riddle Bob, going on the Breakfast Club, and we talked about the masses of black people. Sometimes that's the downside. You know what I mean? Just to get, my eyes on it. But I think the DSA as a whole, you got to get the black vote that's the trend line that I see going on, and that's what I think is yes, the extremism that you see in Iran is emulating the extremism that you see in Gaza, and the current state of the economy. You're going to see a lot more DSA rise.
I don't think so.
Those are not different causes.
They want a lot of things that Black Americans don't want. And they want open borders, they want a whole bunch of crazy shit. So that's not going to win.
It's not a monolith.
It might
Not a monolith.
City.
Not a monolith.
It might win. We might win New York City. You might win LA. But that shit is like crazy as hell.
And I agree with you. Del Rico is not a fucking Democratic socialist.
We see Madame. He's actually failing in New York City. The middle class Black people, which I know personally, right, who own houses and stuff like that, their property taxes are going fucked up. It's like they're not really happy with the outcome. You have to remember, if they don't do well in governing over their cities, they're gonna that's gonna backfire. You see, when the presidential election coming up, Democrats have Newsom, AOC, they're gonna get clobbered because they're not Marco Rubio.
Anybody who believes AOC is going to be Democratic, you know, slow down. Like it's like even suggested. Yes, Gavin Newsom has positioned himself from the beginning to be the biggest name. But let me say this. Hey, that California shit ain't gonna fly when the primaries come, man. Like, it's not gonna fly.
See, and I know Calrico's not a Democratic socialist, but his ideas hold the line, and he has similar viewpoints against Gaza. He has enough of a viewpoint against Black folks.
And a lot of MAGA people were against going into like this. This is what's crazy. This ain't like a left-wing league. Like a lot of people were against going into Israel. A lot of people were against neoconservatives. That's why when this war shit started happening again, I started coming into these spaces and start calling these MAGA supporters neocons because that's what y'all support. Like y'all voted for this shit. Y'all wanted it.
I told you it's a true line on both sides. I think it's going to filter out.
Both sides ain't got us in this border. Why do you wish Black people all switch to the Republican Party? All y'all would do is leave.
Oh, we would do it, please.
The fuck? Like when y'all say dumbass shit like that, this is what I realized, man. Y'all don't have like real like political understanding. Black people will vote for whatever work towards them by and large. Alright? The Yodogs of the world, some of the other Black Republicans of the world on this app, they're actually in the minority in the Black community. Alright, so the vast majority of these people vote because these policies seem, and the key word is seem. I'm not even saying that it's actually beneficial to us. I'm saying that the Democratic agenda seems to benefit us more. That's just what it is. If you guys can go through the last, since the Civil Rights Act, it can name me anything other than the opportunity zones, which actually benefits high income earners who get into that capital gains tax bracket. So it's not even benefiting Black folks. So if you can show me one agenda, if you can show me one national agenda.
Oh, you talking about that agenda that benefited white women more than
I'm talking about one initiative that the Republicans have put in the last 50 years that would have been
all that Republicans used to be known as the Negro Party.
Man, look, that's why I said the last 50 years, brother.
Oh, okay.
And you also know that the switch actually happened during FDR.
We've been hurt by this thing, right? Civil rights system. And some of the things that Ron said, I can agree with, but he's also involved the game gave herself her as it is right now. Sanctuary cities don't benefit Black Americans. So you see what happened in LA, right? These type of cities, these type of criminals, crimes, and then internal crimes, right? That hurts our community. We see our population is
they don't have real true solutions to what we need.
You think the anti-immigration shit is about us?
It don't matter.
And I'm not even one of the niggas. Out of my conversation, you've actually never heard me speak highly about like immigration.
Yes, well, let me pivot a second.
But I think that y'all give that too much. Because our issues were happening before these immigrants popped up.
What are you actually?
I'm pushing back. No, I'm just saying. I'm also talking about Holly school choice wouldn't benefit Black Americans. It would hurt us.
I disagree.
So the thing about reparation, which is hilarious to me about this conversation, right? These people, so if a person raped somebody, murdered that person, enslaved somebody for 5 years, and kept doing that shit for 30 years, right? They got wealthy because of those actions. When that person finally gets locked up and they got $30 million in the bank, wouldn't we want that money to go to the victims? If you say no, something's wrong with you, you're a pedophile. That's the same shit in this conversation. Reparations, people murdered, enslaved, there's pedophiles, rapists, Epstein's times 10. So, if they did reparations, it actually would benefit the economy, actually. Black Americans would just use the money to start up jobs, buildings, rebuild houses,
Nathan, I swear I just said all of this, but brother.
My bad, brother. But understand, we would rather give money over to other countries by the tens of billions of dollars. Oh, yeah, Epstein supporters, what?
Welcome on board, Nathan, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, I don't get this, again, especially people of the culture, the pushback on reparation reception, especially when it comes in the form of something not even, we don't even have to get the dollar signs. Let's just, hey, give all Black people the ability to go to school tax free. Just free ride. Any school. Fuck it. What would be wrong with that? Oh, no way. You guys don't
This
need
is the best recreation. This is the best.
Y'all don't see the bigger picture.
The crazy thing about it, there's 640 million acres of federal land that the federal government has. So we only have a population of about 40 million Americans. So if you can give everybody the acres, we have 600 million acres left. Like the math, just the mathematics added up. So you can compare it. I look at people sideways. You gotta be something else. Shit is crazy.
The intentional disruption of Black upward mobility, especially when it comes to financial institutions and certain job discrimination. What do you need? Let's not even address the patent office. There's too much there that even y'all can't even talk about in this room. Because you're like, no way the niggas invent this. But it's on paper. There's towns, there's plaques, there's actually sites. Y'all would say they don't exist. Let me see.
Bring all the fucking facts. I will bring out the markers and allow this shit to really parts.
Which used to be a prominent Black town, which was part of, they're not going to take money towns.
They're going to play off.
That have lights and markers. They're going to change the play, right?
Jesus Church, right there. It's super dog. Violence, stop this. Stop this. Look like a clown.
Every time I turn the news, I see something hurting about some Jewish man in Germany, or Stanford, and just like pounds. It's so many money. I mean, it's the seed that comes out of my
Americans around during the GI Bill era, the white Americans around during Jim Crow era, you feel me? These are your grandparents' parents. They don't care. That's the issue. Like I've been telling people, no, hold on, just listen to what I'm saying. Just listen to what I'm saying.
I think they do
Just listen to what I'm saying. Just
they
listen to what I'm
do
saying.
care.
Listen to what I'm saying, fam.
I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
Our issue is with the United States government and justice system, all right? That's who our issue is with. It's not these everyday white folks. The issue with white folks is that they turned a blind eye to these atrocities for the most part. Yes, there were a handful of white folks over the time